guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to paint on an 8x10 canvas panel by Fredericks. I'm just going to paint a real simple birch tree, and I'm going to use acrylic paint. Colors I'm going to be using that I know of right now are acrylic craft paint, black and white, burnt umber or just brown, raw sienna, this is Arteza, and cad yellow golden fluid. There's no reason that I'm using the yellow in golden fluids. I just don't have this cad yellow in any other brand, so it's not important. And I mention that because when I do a lot of blending, like acrylic blending for my backgrounds or my skies, using the fluid, the golden fluid, is important. But I just kind of wanted to point out that this time it's not important. I just don't have it in any other brand. Also, I got engaged, so hooray. We've been together almost 7 years, so it's really exciting. So I just kind of wanted to let you know why I have that ring on my finger and share the exciting news. What is, oh, I'm going to show you. This is my fiance. That's a picture of him right there. Completely irrelevant to this tutorial, but I'm real happy, so. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this real simple. I'll get out some white. Probably not going to need that much white, but I got it out anyway. I don't need the black yet. I don't really need the brown. I could do, I'm thinking if I want to do a sky or not, maybe. Okay, oh yeah, I do need the black, because I'm going to make green from the black and the cad yellow. We'll start with that. I'm also going to use this acrylic paint. It's called Moody Blue. I'm just going to use a little touch of that to give a little bit of a blue hint to the sky. And I'm going to use a mop brush. It does not matter really what kind of brush you use for this part. It's just going to be a solid sky, nothing special. Most of this is going to get covered up by leaves and stuff. Cool. I'm going to use a round bristle brush. This is from Hobby Lobby, and it came in a set of some other brushes, same type, just different sizes. I'm going to make my green with the black and the yellow, cad yellow, because it makes a really nice shade of green. It's not like a weird, super bright green that looks unnatural. I feel like this green looks really natural. Like something you might actually see out in nature. I don't think I need that brush anymore. And I'm just going to tap off some of the excess paint. And this is probably already dry, pretty much. So now I'm just holding the brush like 90 degrees to the canvas, and I'm just tapping. I don't want a solid line. And what I mean by that is like that. I I don't want it to be that clustered and that dense. I want it to be kind of loose. Rotate my brush when I start to see repeating patterns. So like I saw the same little pattern coming through here, like that little arc. I'm going to rotate my brush when I start to see stuff like that. A little bit of a darker green below that layer, below this layer up here, and closer together, like the taps are closer together. A little more yellow. More black this time. Just tap, 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 taparoo. Decide where I want my ground to start. This looks like a good spot. And I think I'm going to try just wiping off this brush and go in with my raw sienna. Oh man, that is so satisfying, peeling those little things off of there. All right, so for back here, for this section, I'm just going to use another mop brush. I got a ton of hair falling out. And grab some more of that dark green. I'm just doing this to make this part of the paint wet again, so I can blend it a little bit and make it look kind of blurry. And just wiggle those colors together. That's the actual proper technical term for that. Wiggle those colors together. I'm kidding, by the way, it's not. It's just me being silly. So you see how like it's kind of getting streaky there? I just kind of wipe off my brush to get some of that extra paint out and then go over it again real quick. There's a big clump of something there, but I guess... Okay, yeah, there we go. Get this covered up. And I'm going to add some brown to this down here in the foreground. Ooh, I got a lot of paint dripping off the side over there. A bristle fan brush. This is the number 2. And I'm going to do a couple of little highlights, I think, down here. So I'm just going to hold the brush like 90 degrees to the canvas, and I'm just going to tap. Maybe not 90 degrees, maybe up like this. I don't want to cover up all the dark. I don't want to cover up all my shadow. I'm really not trying to give this background a whole bunch of detail. I want the birch tree to be the focal point. So as I get further back towards the background, I'm going to start to tap closer together. So down here I was tapping like kind of far apart. The closer I get to this area back in the back, I'm going to tap closer together and with less pressure so that it looks softer. Until it just kind of disappears. This is Scotch Blue number 2090. And I'm going to use this to shape my birch tree. I'm going to rip it in half. I'm going to pull a little bit to one side, like to the right, and a little bit to the left. I don't want any super weird angles, so I didn't do that a lot. I also didn't want it to just be straight up and down. And now this edge will become this side of my tree. So wherever I place this, that's where the edge of the tree is going to sit. And over here, I'm going to line them back up at the top, so like equal height here. And then however far over I make it is how fat my tree is going to be. And I'm going to do a pretty big one. So about right there. So now I've got this really kind of natural shape to the tree, and for some reason that's really hard for me to paint like without the tape. It's hard to keep, it's hard to make things natural because like my instinct wants me to like make it straight. I don't know. I want to use this mop brush. I want to get that color out of it. And now with the black, I'm going to start on one side. This is going to get multiple layers just because I'm painting over that existing paint. And then grab some white. Just kind of blend those together in the middle. I don't know, it may not need multiple layers, we'll see. A little more black. So I want it to have a shadow side, but not like solid black. Ah, I messed that part up. I got too much paint on my brush now, so this is easier to do with oil paint, but sometimes I like to try to make them just acrylic or just oil. So another clean and dry mop brush and just kind of blend all that together. I don't think that's quite wide enough, so I'm going to have to do something about that. While it's still pretty wet, it's not super wet enough to blend, but I'm going to try to get some more white in here. Oh, that is just back and forth with the black and white until I'm happy with the blending and the color. It would be a lot easier to do with oil, but oh well. Here we go, that was a good one. Just work it in sections. And this is also going to give it some texture on the tree. All right, I think that's pretty good. And with this filbert brush, this is from the Deco Enchanted set, but this brush is discontinued, so I really don't think it matters what kind of brush. I just wanted to let you know that what I'm using is a filbert. And with some black, I'm gonna start making some of these marks. Just try to be pretty random with it. Hair there. So over here it's smaller and then a little bit bigger, and then it gets smaller as it comes around the tree. And then I'll put like some branches coming out of this as well. can find where the edge of my tree is. Just a couple of these big marks, and then I'll come in and do some small ones too. Oh, that looks like a little bat. Let's do it's another one. That's another one right there. All right, and we'll use the comb brush. This is from the Deco Clarity set. Looks like it's had a little haircut. It's been thinned at the bottom. Some more black paint. I'm going to use the flat side, and I'm also going to use the edge as well. So very lightly, I'm just going to kind of drag kind of at a swooping angle. Try not to overdo it, because I don't want to have to blend that background again. Or not background, but the paint the tree again. So I'm switching back and forth between the flat side and the edge. Trying to be really random. Which I understand can actually be kind of hard sometimes. Oh, I'm going to overdo it if I don't stop. I'm going to stop before I go too crazy with it. And for the big reveal, I did pull up some paint there, and it looks like I went too far with my paintbrush on that side, but I'm going to put some leaves and stuff on here, so it's okay. And whatever I don't get with leaves or branches or something, I will come back and fix. I'm going to do, I'm using a reference picture for this. I'm going to do the big branch that the picture has here. I'm also going to do that with tape. So it looks like it comes out, and this will be fine right here. Okay, and let me decide where I want the bottom to be roughly. want that to be super big. Okay. And then I want it to branch right here. So make that one kind of curved. And then I'm just shaping this branch. I could totally do this without the tape, but it just helps me get a little bit of a more natural shape. All right, make sure my edges are pressed down really good, and thicker down here, skinnier up there. And I'm gonna cover up my birch, or this part of the tree, for a minute, but then I'm gonna like paint them together. So the branches are mostly black. A little bit of highlight. Oh my god, that was so much paint. And then I'll get a little bit of white on the top. I might have put way too much black on there. I can barely see where the edge of the tape is. I want to do some of the white on there so that it looks like it's got like a highlighted area, but also it's mostly black, so that's kind of difficult. All right, now I'm going to figure out how I want this to look. And I guess for the smaller branches, I'll just use my brush. I don't get quite as clean of an edge, but that's okay. This is just a little round brush. It's the number 4 in the Deco Clarity set. Just to make it a little thinner. With a little bit of water. Just trying to make it a little thinner at the ends. Oh God, I hope that wasn't too much paint right there. There's so much water. And let's do one that comes down this way. Just trying to wiggle my hand a little bit when I roll my brush a little bit in my fingers. And then let me do a couple more, not real big ones, but like this size big ones. I can do like a, I kind of wish I hadn't went up that sharp right there, but it's too late now. Kind of wish I had brought it out a little bit straighter that direction. I'm gonna touch up this grass or this green area right here because I don't know if I'm actually gonna have leaves on this side, and it's kind of bothering me, so I'm gonna fix it. That's where I pulled up the paint with the tape on accident. Okay, fixed. And a little touch of highlight on some of these branches. Maybe just a little bit of texture. Not a bunch. Okay. Okay. Now smaller branches, I'm going to get out a really long liner brush. Get it wet with some water. Wipe off some of the water. Oh, I'm out of black paint. I don't want any big drops. And then I can like make these a little skinnier. Ooh. Ooh. That branch is creating itself. That water's running. Sorry, I got really quiet. I got focused and in the zone there. And this branch is so big and heavy, I think I'm going to bring it a little bit more onto the tree. Like ground it some. I don't know if that makes sense, but it looked like it was not real sturdy inside the tree for some reason, so I'm gonna just make the base a little bit bigger so that it looks like it's like it would withstand the weight of this branch. Hopefully that makes sense. Would have liked to have done like some branches that went like in front of the birch, like in front of this part, but I feel like the layout that I've got going right now, that's not really going to work unless I did something like that, but I don't think it needs it. I don't think it needs it that much. So just going to rinse off this brush. I'm not going to stick it down in my cup. And then move on to the next part. All right, I'm going to do a couple of leaves over here on this side, and I'm going to cover up this side of the tree so that my leaves look like they're behind the tree and I don't have to touch up any paint on my tree trunk. Just going to kind of block it off. And I'm going to use a mix of the burnt umber or brown and the raw sienna. This is a filbert brush. This is one of the bigger ones from the Deco Enchanted set. Trying to think if you could use any other brush. I mean, the brand doesn't matter, but I guess maybe to get the exact same kind of effect that I'm gonna get, you probably do need to use a filbert brush. And I'm just gonna be real random with how I push the brush on the canvas. I'm just gonna, actually I'm gonna practice here on my tape. Like that. That's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna push and then just kind of different pressure, kind of roll my brush and really try not to overthink it. And try not to overdo it. I'll do like one or two there. I'm not going to do it down here because you may not even really be able to see them down there. And then grab a little bit of the cad yellow with that raw sienna. Yeah, that works. And then just kind of right over top of it, like right over top of some of them, and then just kind of fill in around it as well. I wonder if any white, I wonder how the white would look. I'm going to use a different brush though, just in case. See what it would look like with a little bit of white. Oh, that's fine, that's good. Is that bright enough? Woo! That was a lot of white. I don't want to overdo it. Hopefully I don't pull any paint off of my tree trunk. So now it looks like there's a couple behind there. And then over here I can do some in front of the tree. I'm going to start with my darker color first. And just be pretty random with it. going to really try hard not to overdo it with the dark. Not cover up all my branches, because I got to add some highlights too. And if I overdo it with the dark, then it's going to be really crazy when I start to add the highlights. So, as usual, I'm going to try to not be crazy with this. I don't know how much it's going to matter down here, but just one or two. I guess I could do. I'm not going to be able to really see them right now, but when I add the highlight on those, it'll be fine. Okay, I'm going to stop there with the dark, and then come in here with my yellow and my white, add it to that raw sienna, and add some brighter points, not as much as the black, or I mean as the darker brown. Don't want to go crazy on it. Some of them I'm going right over top of the same blotch that I'm putting on there. And then I'm also going in areas where there's nothing. And I'm not covering every one of them up. I don't like that one. I wish I hadn't done that. But lucky for me, I can just wipe it off. I'm going to do pretty bright over here so you can see it in front of that in front of the, because the grass is the same color, just added yellow and white, so alright, and for the final layer, I'm just going to see if I can get it pretty bright and even less. So smaller taps, or lighter taps, I mean, and fewer of them. So you see what I mean by how heavy it's all getting? If I had went too far with the dark color, I would not have left any room for all the final highlights, and it would have been, it would just all be filled in. I hope that makes sense. And it looks like I forgot to do the darker, a little bit of darker ones over here. I think that's it. You can add as much as you want to all of that, but you know, it doesn't have to be super complicated to be pretty. I like it. If I was going to change anything, I would say I would have made the birch tree just a little bit wider instead of it being so dark, but it does look kind of natural. I mean, you know, out in nature it's not going to be super duper bright white anyway. Also, I might have made, no, I like the grass color. It kind of looks like dead grass. I like that, but this branch here kind of gets lost. So it's possible that if I did it again, I would just not do that branch at all. Other than that, I'm real happy with it. Thank you guys for watching. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think, I guess. Thanks for watching. If you liked today's video, give that like button a tap and please consider subscribing. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok where I upload content almost daily. Thank you for watching.